What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to talk about the recently announced UFC 307. Now, I was busy being the interim champion of MMA YouTube. I was covering 305. I was talking about the fights to make. I was talking about the recap of the event. And Dana White decided to announce while I was asleep that Alex Pereira, good friend of the channel, I've literally met him, we're basically best friends. He's going to be defending his belt, not against Magomed Ankalaev, not against Israel Adesanya, not against fucking Yuri Prohaska, not against Jamal Hill, not even against Volkan Oezdemir, who I would literally choose over Khalil fucking Rountree, who's getting a title shot. And I never thought there would be a day where I would say this about Alex Pereira, but I think this is bullshit. I'm not celebrating this. People are like, oh, Alex Pereira's turning around so quick. This guy's the face of the UFC. This is a joke of a fight. I know that Khalil Rountree has aura. I know that there's a lot of edits of him. I know he has a cool backstory. I'm going to just say this as I believe it, honestly. And I know this might be a hot take, probably not, but it's genuinely my opinion. This is a free win for Alex Pereira. This is a stat pad. This is a Mickey Mouse title defense. This is a free win for Alex Pereira. And I feel like the win streak of Rountree and the recent increase in fans has tricked people into forgetting that this guy, as soon as he hits a big fight, he's getting chinned. And Alex Pereira will chin Khalil Rountree in round 1 or round 2. And I don't care. I don't want to see more fucking glazing. I'm not starting a Charmer chant, is what I'm going to say about this matchup, okay, dude? When Pereira wins, I'm not starting a Charmer chant. I'm not doing it, because this does not deserve to be celebrated. Magomed Ankalaev should be fighting for the belt. It should be what is taking place, or they should be leaving out Pereira entirely and saying you're going to fight the winner of, you're going to fight Tom Aspinall when Jones retires, basically. You're going to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title when Jones retires. That's what it should be. It should be Ankalaev, or it should be fucking Tom Aspinall. What would it take to get this guy to fight the number one contender? I'd love to know. I know it's not Pereira's fault. I know he just agreed on whatever the UFC offered. Dana White called him up. Listen, kid. Think of all the fans you can make if you fight Khalil Rountree Jr. And Pereira's, Shama, Adesanya, Shama. No, it's not Adesanya, kid. It's Khalil Rountree. He's a badass fighter. Shama. So listen, I'm not gonna hate on Alex Pereira, but I will say that I'm not ready for the fucking Alex Pereira super fans, the Glazers, these fucking guys that I met that were doing the Charmer chant. I'm not ready for them to be gassing this up as if this is a crazy title defense. Dude, like I said, Volkan Oezdemir deserves it more. Magomed Ankalaev deserves it more. Alexander Rakic deserves... Somehow, I would rather see Rakic versus Pereira. This makes no fucking sense. This makes no sense. He beat Anthony Smith on short notice. What are we fucking doing? Why? What are we doing? What is this? And people will fucking defend this. People will genuinely just be like, oh, whatever, dude. It's a good fight. Fuck it, let's just book the entire UFC like this. Nobody needs to see fucking O'Malley versus Marab, dude. Doesn't matter, it's a boring fight. I want to see O'Malley versus Sandhagen. I know he's coming off a loss, but who cares? It's a better fight. It's a good matchup. That's not how it should work, dude. That's not how it should work. Prime example of this. Yesterday's video, I said I want to see Dricus versus Hamzat, but that's not going to be next. It should be Strickland versus Dricus next, because Strickland deserves it. Regardless of what I think of him, regardless of how boring I think the fight will be, or the fact that I'm not super interested in the matchup, that's what it should be, because he has earned that by being the number one contender who beat Izzy easily, right? Khalil Rountree beat fucking Anthony Smith, and he has cool tattoos and a cool backstory, and Hunter Campbell probably saw some edits of him and decided to fucking book him in a title fight. This is a joke. It's ridiculous. Pereira's going to outbox him easily. Khalil Rountree does not have the best boxing in the UFC. He has a kind of a sus chin, despite the fact that he looks so scary. He has good leg kicks. Those are going to be neutralized against Pereira, who's great at checking kicks, who's great at calf kicking. I just don't see the point. I don't see the point. Get Khalil Rountree a real title elimination bout, and then boom, give him the title shot. He's coming off a suspension. He didn't even have to fight Jamal Hill. He just got booked against him, and they think it's the same fucking thing. They give him a title shot. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not unfair against Magomed Ankalaev. And I know that we talk about Dagestani privilege. What do you call this? What do you call this except for privilege? Like, oh, you're cool, you have a cool fighting style? Yeah, you can have a title shot, you're ranked number 8, who gives a fuck? What's now? Are we gonna give Michael Chandler a title shot now? Where does this fucking end, dude? Where does this, where does this end? Fuck it, let's do Bilal Muhammad versus Kamaru Usman, who gives a fuck? He's coming off 3 losses, who cares, dude? Fuck it, man. Middleweight, let's just do Chimaev versus... Why are we waiting? Let's just do Chimaev versus Dricus now, because that's what we want to see. It's a fucking joke, dude. It's actually ridiculous. And people are going to be like, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Because it's a sport, bro. This ain't WWE, dog. This ain't Cody Rhodes finished the story. You need to win a contendership fight to get a title shot. I'm sorry that I have to explain this. That's how it should fucking work. And speaking of which, Raquel Pennington is on this card. And you know what I said. If she's the headliner of this card, I'm making bedtime NBA. Dana White knows what he's doing. He wants my matchmaking videos. He wants my advice. So he didn't put this as the main event. He put this as the co-main event. This is the most UFC 5 career mode ass set of title defenses. Pereira run out of fucking challenges. And he's defending against number 8, Khalil Rountree. And Juliana Pena is getting a title shot. And you know what the funniest thing is about this matchup, dude? Here's what I gotta say about this, man. I don't give a fuck about the outcome of this. I think Raquel Pennington's going to win. She's actually a decent fighter. I know that we all meme on her. She's actually going to win this. She's going to school Juliana Pena because Juliana Pena is terrible. She's not good. She's not good. She's terrible. All right. The thing about this matchup that's so funny to me is MMA fans will very easily see how dumb of a matchup this is. They will go, why is Ketlin Vieira versus Raquel, what's her name, Kayla Harrison happening on this card? And why is Juliana Pena getting a title shot instead of doing Harrison versus Pennington, which is the fight we all want to see? Sounds really fucking familiar. The number 1 contender's booked in a bullshit fight and some random is getting a title shot instead. Except, you know what's crazy, dude? I never thought I'd... Juliana Pena deserves this more than fucking Khalil Rountree. Juliana Pena deserves a title shot more than Khalil Rountree Jr. does. Easily. Easily. It's not even fucking close. And it's a joke, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let this slide because it's a good fight or it's an interesting matchup. That's not how the sport works, bro. That's not how the sport has ever worked, bro. Like, all you have to do is give Khalil Rountree 1 or 2 more wins. If you don't think he can beat Jamal Hill or you don't think he can beat Yuri Prohaska, why is he getting a title shot? Right? It's really fucking simple. Just book Khalil versus Jamal Hill again, which you already made. Or here's a fucking idea. Why don't you do fucking Jamal versus Yuri and give Magomed Ankalaev, the guy, you know, the guy on the unbeaten streak, you know that guy, right? The guy that's number 1 contender in the division easily. Yeah, give him a title shot and do Rakic versus fucking Rountree. Because that's how matchmaking should work. Again, Juliana Pena literally deserves this title shot more than Khalil Rountree, but she's going to get completely schooled. She's going to win like round 1 maybe. She'll get some takedowns. And then she'll unleash the Dricus mode without any of the power or the skill set. And she'll get schooled by Raquel Pennington. And Raquel Pennington will remain a UFC women's champion. She might even move up in the pound-for-pound rankings. And we're going to have to wait even longer to see Kayla Harrison finally beat her for the belt. And I could even see her somehow beating Kayla Harrison. I think Kayla Harrison's gas tank is a big question mark. And I could see Raquel Pennington surviving an early onslaught and beating her by boring decision. So... yeah, this division is absolutely cooked. And like I said, the craziest thing is that Juliana Pena literally deserves a title shot more than Khalil Rountree. And I'm sorry to come on here and be negative, but I'm sorry. This is just a ridiculous fucking set of title fights on top of a great card because I actually like this card outside of these 2 fights. These 2 fights are ridiculous and just stupid and just terrible. I like Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. I think that's a very intriguing matchup. I literally cannot pick that right now. I'm going back and forth on it all the time. Leaning Evloev, but I could honestly see Aljo winning. I think Jose Aldo is going to have a great performance against Batista, and we're going to see him move up the rankings and finally get a real big fight like, I don't know, Henry Cejudo or fucking... fuck it, let's give Aldo a title shot against Pereira if he wins this fight, right, man? Like, who cares, dude? Be a good matchup, man. Doesn't matter, dude. Yeah, I also saw that the UFC announced 2 other fights for this card that I really like, one of which... I made this fight already. I'm going to take fucking credit for this. I already made this fight ages ago when Joaquin Buckley, I think right after he beat Wonderboy? Oh no, after he beat Luque, excuse me. I said they should do this matchup. And I'm glad that it's finally happening. And I will say right now, I've changed my mind on it. At the time, I remember saying Wonderboy low-key will school Joaquin Buckley. I'm picking Buckley. I think that the Joaquin Buckley run is going to continue. I just have a vision of the welterweight division. I dream of a great welterweight division because this is my favorite division. I love this division. I dream of a welterweight division where Bilal Muhammad's the champion. I still remember that. Every time I'm sad in life, I just remember Bilal Muhammad's the champion and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Bilal Muhammad's the champion. Leon Edwards is shipped off to the PFL with his brother, all right? And the top 5 is like JDM, Shavkat, Ian Gary. And I see Joaquin Buckley right there with those guys. I see Joaquin Buckley being a guy that is like a highlight reel for JDM, a highlight reel for Shavkat, a bounce back win for like, I don't know, somebody like that. I just see him being up there in the division. And I think Wonderboy's time has passed. This is also one of those fights where I can see, I feel like this happens a lot. A top contender will beat a guy and get a title shot and move up the division. They'll get really hyped. But then the guy that they beat will lose another fight. And you kind of go, oh, it's not actually that good of a win. I feel like Shavkat's win over Wonderboy is not going to age as well. I think the same thing is going to happen with Gilbert Burns. I think JDM's win over Gilbert Burns is not going to age very well either. And I think both of those things are true. That's why I believe Joaquin Buckley will be able to push a pace. He has big power. He has a good chin. Wonderboy is not really a finisher, so he's going to have to win at range for a decision. And Joaquin Buckley's just mixes up takedowns really well, dude. Like he has kind of spazzy movements, but they work really well in his favor. He has big power. He's quick. He's explosive. And I think the momentum is really going to make a big difference in terms of his confidence. You can just see that he's like finally believing all the shit he's been saying forever. So whatever Joaquin Buckley's doing, it's clearly working. Good win streak at the moment. And I think he's going to continue that with a decision win over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And I think that's going to be a shock to some people, maybe an upset to some people. I don't know. I feel like most logical fans will probably pick Joaquin Buckley. Obviously, Wonderboy can win. Joaquin Buckley is not the most technically sound fighter, but I just feel like the fact that, like, I feel like to beat Buckley, like I said, you have to be able to finish. I think to beat Buckley, you have to be able to unleash a nasty fucking head kick. You got to be finishing people with actual strikes, not via like corner stoppage TKO, which is the only way Wonderboy is really TKOing people at the moment. So I'm going to say Joaquin Buckley wins that. And there was one more fight announced. And it's like with this card. Dude, I'm sorry that I'm talking like an ex-girlfriend right now. I feel like I'm all over the shop. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm angry. Right? I like the general vibes of this card. Like, I like Evloev Aljo. I like Jose Aldo. I like Kayla Harrison being on the card. Some of these prelims are really good. But then the UFC is trying to make a fight that will piss me the fuck off by making Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. The two most infuriating fucking middleweights. I thought Curtis versus Holland was going to be a complete, like, salt-off. No, dude. It just got a million times more worse. Because Roman Dolidze is going to stand around smiling menacingly, like he's Shamil Gaziev. Good fighter. Good smile. Right? Kevin Holland's going to dance around, trying to slap him, leaning straight back with his head up in the air. And I just feel like this is going to be such a nothing fight that's just going to piss me off. Me specifically. But forget the fans and their reaction to this. I think this is a terrible matchup for Kevin Holland. Roman Dolidze will probably win a boring decision. But I just know that this matchup will piss me off. This will raise my blood pressure. This will make me rage. Even if I pick Roman Dolidze, I'm going to be mad when I'm right. You know what I mean? And even if Kevin Holland upsets him, great. Now I've got to deal with more Kevin Holland at the top of the middleweight division, wasting my fucking time every pay-per-view, showing up and just refusing to try. You know what I mean? It's a guy who literally has nothing to contribute to the fight versus a guy who just has no interest in trying in the fight. Like, what a great matchup, Dana. Great job on this card. We've got a Mickey Mouse title shot in the main event that's a complete joke, and I just think a complete stat pad for Pereira, and makes him look really bad, and makes him look like he's ducking Ankalaev, which I don't think he is, but it looks like it. Terrible co-main event, just a sloppy low-level fight, and undeserving title shot. I like Joaquin Buckley versus Wonderboy on this card. I'm looking forward to Aljo versus Evloev. I like Jose Aldo versus Batista. That's going to be a good matchup. I think Jose Aldo is going to win that. And we've got this fight to guarantee a clip of me just completely raging my fucking head off at Roman Dolidze winning a boring smudge decision against Kevin Holland, who refuses to try. He's like, oh, I'm fighting a top 10 middleweight? The worst top 10 middle... Dude, the thing that pisses me off is that Kevin Holland can literally beat Roman Dolidze. He literally can school him striking, and he's not even that good, but I know he can. But he won't. He will get taken down, and he'll just lay on bottom laughing, slapping Dolidze, you know, talking shit, and he'll just lose a fucking decision because he doesn't want to find out how good he actually is. So, yeah, I think Roman Dolidze, and Roman Dolidze is so beatable, but Kevin Holland refuses to try. So that's why this matchup, really, I don't like it. But all in all, I think there'll be entertaining fights. I think there'll be a lot of finishes. I'm trying to be nice and positive and respectful here. But yeah, I think all in all, the matchmaking is very cooked in this situation. I think the UFC really needs to reevaluate the way that they're building cards, the way that they're building up champions and contenders, because it's getting, every single card, there's some shit like this, and it's just getting more and more prevalent, and less people are willing to say something about it, and it's all just becoming like, oh, well, you know, what do you expect? This is the UFC. So I'm not accepting this as good matchmaking. This is a dumb fight. This is a dumb main event. You can do better, and I don't know about you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but yeah, I'm really disagreeing with this. I think it's really dumb. Make sure you guys drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more rant videos coming up, I'm sure. Predictions, all that type of stuff, so stay tuned for all that. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.